Hey guys, James Vance here, going live, getting ready to dial up some of these leads and hopefully have some conversation with some of these sellers so we can get them on the phone and try to create a win-win scenario for everybody across the board. If you're tuning in, this is live, so I'm going to show you what we do day in and day out here. Sell to us fast, kind of get people on the phones, and try to close them. That's the best way I can explain this. But the way to do it is first get, the leads, generate the leads. Once you have the leads, make sure you're touching base with everybody, asking all the right questions, get all the information so you can make a well-justified offer when you're calling that lead back. And the way that you do that is you got to listen. You got to listen to people, what they're saying to you and what's wrong with the property and why they want to sell it. If there's any kind of combatant back and forth and that, they don't really seem that motivated, it's going to be a hard battle to win. But with the tools and processes and systems in place, you guys can make a living doing this and make good money. But you got to get on the phones, you got to talk to people, and, you got to do the thing. So what we're going to do is I'm going to jump on these dials, see if we can get some people to answer the phone, get some offers made, and hopefully make some money. Excuse me. So basically, I'm going to jump on this call and conversation I had yesterday. Hopefully that we can kind of come to an agreement to try to work out something. This is the house that is currently in Marion, Indiana, and they are currently renting out at $575 a month with cash flow. Property's been recently updated, not super updated, but it's basically been rental upgraded. And they just haven't raised rent on the seller or the tenant in a while because they have had them there for a long time. When you come across people that's lived in a property for a long time, usually the landlord is kind of hesitant to raise the rent on these people because he has such steady cash flow where he's at. But, when we're making offers on properties and we have to justify the offer based on the current rent and rent prices around, we have to make justified offers if we're going to wholesale that or keep that ourselves. So we want to make sure that we're making all the right offers. Give me just a second here. Gotta allow all these settings to go. And you guys will experience this stuff too as well. Hey, thank you for watching. Going to jump on this call here. Hopefully it'll let me dial out this time. Oh, it's not going to. So we got to make sure that we get all these settings right beforehand. So let's have a conversation. It's saying we need to give permission to the microphone, which we already have. Let's see here. I reset my cookies earlier to try to speed up the browser, and now I'm having issues. It's okay. No big deal. I'm going to keep moving forward. That's all I know. Maybe it's in the settings here. Give me a second here. Output device, input device, microphone settings. Yeah, I mean, we should be basically ready to go. Let's see if we can go back. Allow every time. Okay, now let's see if that lets us go. Now we're actually moving here. Hey, Ron, how you doing? I'm doing fantastic, man. Just kind of following up with our conversation that we had yesterday. Um, I know you was looking to sell the other property at the same time, right? Um, so you was kind of wanting to do like a package deal on these two because I know that the other one's going to take some obviously capital and it's not cash flowing is one of my main. Did you have any updated pictures of this particular property, Ron, at this time that you've already done the work to? Yeah, or do you have any that you had in your phone from doing the work? Yeah, because that would help me understand what's left to do over the property so I can get a good estimated repair cost on our behalf, obviously. Uh, okay. Yeah, yeah, always looking for the best tax advantage. No, I completely get it. Yeah, tax is the way to go. You always want to look for the best tax route. Uh, Now, on both of those, what would you look at with that other one being not completely finished right now? What are you looking at, like a total number? I know we would agree on one, but what would it be like if we did both of them together? Now we're used to investing in like Indianapolis and bigger cities like that. So this is something, it's I call it a third tier market. Fort Wayne's a second tier. You got Indianapolis first tier, and then you got all the other outer liars, which is any other, Muncie, Richmond, Marion, stuff like that. What kind of price are you looking for out of this non-finished one if we could come to an agreement? Do you have an estimated finished cost on your behalf? Like what in your head you would think it would be around about the price? Yep. At least to get it enough to get it or whatever. We have contractors that work for us in the Indianapolis market that'll go, surrounding areas if we have a good deal. But usually I try to use a local person that I know in the area and they can manage the projects for us. Yeah. Yeah. Right. No, I'm a good partner over there, Jonah. He owns an agency and he's also an investor himself there locally that does a lot of rehabs and stuff like that. So he kind of helps me out with boots on the ground, understanding the market and stuff like that. That kind of helps us out as well. Yeah. No, yeah, let's do that one. Go ahead and do that. When can you get those over to me? Oh, okay. Yeah. Yeah, I just need to see an eyes on to see what kind of money we're looking at, on the repair cost, so I don't overshoot or undershoot. I'm always looking to get a percentage range, that we don't lose money. You know, let me see his schedule because I know he's busy, but let me check his schedule and see if he can get out there this week since it's still earlier this week. And then if I can get him out there, yeah. But if not, then pictures will do us justice as well. So, private funding. No, no, we don't go through the traditional way on this. It would definitely be cash. Yeah, I'm gonna get calling him as soon as I get off the phone here with you. I'll set up a time. If he can walk it this week, great. But if not, I would still like photos. That way I can have an idea and get my eyes on it, at least so I can see what we're working with. And I think the price is pretty good for what we discussed. If we could come out with both of them, that would be great. But if we could come out with one, that's just as good. So either way works for me. I just want to make sure that I'm making the money and the right decisions, putting the money in the right decisions instead of kind of just working out there and start. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, it's let's see what we can do and hopefully we can work something out, Ron. All right. Thank you. I have not emailed you yet. Do you have an email? Do I have that on file? Ye- Okay. And that was what was the number after that? Oh, email. Yeah, that's correct. Yeah. All right, there we go. And make sure I got the at sign so it saves it. Okay, yep, I got you something in here, Ron. I'll shoot you over something from me so that way you have mine as well. And then if we come to an agreement, it's just like anything else. Just look it over the purchase agreement, make sure everything's signed and dotted, make sure no liens or anything like that. And then what we would do is we would just go ahead and run title. We use a local title agency there. We've closed a couple deals in Marion, so we kind of know our work around here, and we should be able to rock and roll. I just want to make sure it's a good deal for all parties across the board here. Okay, that sounds good. Thanks, Ron. All right, first phone call of the day. We got an answer. That's great. Always good to get a phone call. Now, what we need to do is we need to run through the numbers, make sure this is a good deal before we go offering all this money up and all this time and wasting all this energy. We want to make sure that we're running numbers and looking at the options and seeing if we, for one, we either want to buy it ourselves, or for two, we have a buyer ready lined up for it, or for three, if this is something that we need to drop the price on, if it doesn't even make sense. So you just want to make sure that the numbers are right. Deal analysis and doing your due diligence is a huge part of this business where people get it wrong and lock deals up for too high and never sell them and then get mad and quit. Right. So we want to make sure we're doing all the right things, especially running the numbers properly. So on this deal particularly, I already ran the numbers basically. So if you take your phone out and you run the comparables, which I showed in another video, what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually go through and just kind of justify this offer here. So if we was going to sell this house or buy this house, most people buy on the 1% rule or the 1.5% rule. A lot of people don't buy on the 2% rule because they don't have the marketing or the sales skills to negotiate that low so they can get a good deal that low. But sometimes it comes across our table where we're already there and we're making, on the 2% rule. So if the house is rented out for $575 a month, you want to times that by 50. That would be the 2% rule. and we would need to get this house for around $28,750, which we're not going to be able to do, right? We already know he wants around 37. I made an offer for 37.5. He came back at 40,000 if I bought the other property, but I don't know what the other property needs exactly and what kind of condition it's in. So we're going to have to get either somebody on the ground to walk it, me drive over there, or see him send us pictures of it and I can see it virtually, which I do all the time anyway, so no big deal. But basically, this house is probably worth about $80,000, I would imagine, probably around 85,000 as is. And now let's say he's already updated the kitchen, the bathrooms and stuff like that, floor paint throughout. It's rented for $575. So we need to bump the rent up is what we're going to need to do. But most buyers buy it as what it is now. We don't buy on what it could be unless it's like a flip or something like that. But what it's rented at right now is basically where we're going to buy it at. So if you wanted to times that, 85,000. So let's say that we wanted to lock this deal up at a 1.5%. So 575 times, let's see, 75 would be $43,125. So therefore, we would be able to lock this deal up for a 1.5% rule. Now, what can we sell this house for? It's currently rented at 575. So we want to times that by 100. We could sell this house easily for $50,000 to a buyer, right? It's already cash flowing. It already has a long-time tenant. You could bump the rent up, a couple $100, keep money, cash flow coming in, still make money on the sell. So if we're buying this for, let's say we appraised at 85,000, or the buyer appraised at 85,000, and we want to pull 75% back out of this house, we can pull that back out, but it all depends on what you're looking for, cash now or, cash later. So I think this is a good deal. Section 8 rents off in this area for, let's see here. I'll double check something here. HUD, single family, residential. And we're going to go to see how much this will rent out for. And we're going to go to the Department of Housing, and we're going to go for 2025. We are going to go to small area fair market rentals or fair market rents. We're going to look up the small areas. We're going to go to Indiana, and we're going to choose, let's see, what is Marion? Marion, Indiana. County is Grant. So we're going to go to Grant County. And there it is. And we're going to go to the next screen. And what I'm basically doing is I'm looking over the numbers to see if something like this, might work for us. And basically here it is. So HUDuser.gov will get you to the location where you can see all the fair market rents for those smaller areas like Marion, Fort Wayne, Richmond, Muncie, Indiana, places like that, Columbus, Indiana, anywhere on a second tier or third tier is going to be in your small areas. So look at those zip codes, find those zip codes, and figure out what you're looking for. So our property is in, let's see, our property that we're looking at is in 952. So ours is 952, 46952. Looks like a 2-bedroom is renting at $930. And a 3-bedroom's rented out at $1,210. So you're going to get $1,210 for this 3-bedroom home. So it's a no-brainer. It's being rented at $575. Yes, it has a long-term tenant, but we're not in this for emotional values. We're in this for financial advancement. So basically, you look at the numbers and you say, well, this house is rented out right now, current condition. Now, if this house is approved for Section 8, that would be great, right? It would be really nice if this house was approved for Section 8, but we don't know, right? We don't know until we can see the numbers. So basically $1,210 would be the rent from HUD if we stuck this house on Section 8, which is pretty good. That's pretty good. So we're going to go back to our checks. We're going to put HUD sec 8 rental pricing is $210 per month. Okay, we're going to save that in the notes so I have that ready to go. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to run the numbers based on that. And I think our offer right around that 40,000 is going to work as long as we can make these other deals work for the guys, right? I don't know what the other property needs, but we're going to find out. Give me just a second here. I'm going to run through some numbers here. See if I can get this guy on the phone. And we are looking for all contacts. It's all about contacting and calling people and trying to get a hold of people.
Hey, how's it going?
Hey, what's up, brother? Hey, I had a question on Race Street. I think it's a pretty good deal, man. I was looking at the numbers, and HUD housing is renting out for $1,210. I know it's at $575 because of long-term tenant, but that doesn't mean anything, right? So I just think 40 grand for a house that's been recently updated and currently cash flowing at the moment is a pretty good deal.
What's I don't know if I've seen this one.
It's the property on Race Street I was telling you about the other day. What's Ron and Kathy?
Okay, I remember now.
Yeah, and he has another one that he wants to sell too, but I just don't understand. He said that we could walk it, obviously. We can walk both of them. But I want to make sure that it's going to be worth our time on the other one. Branson, not really familiar with Branson Street.
Yeah, Branson's not super great. I probably looked at it too whenever I was looking at to buy it.
Probably needed like flooring or something. I can't remember. Some plumbing stuff that needed updated or something.
I mean, if you can convince an investor to go for Race Street, like sure. I'm just the market value. I mean, it's like, has he seen you the one on Wigger Street yet?
No, he's wanting to work with me on this one first, and then once we get through these, he'll be more open because right now, like he said, he's 62. He's just getting tired of it, and he just wants out.
I think he's got like, if it wasn't a stroke, it was something else. I knew he was struggling with some health issues a few years ago. I was going to say that because one just hit the MLS on Wigger Street, right near one that he has. I mean, it might be a block away, but I'm pretty sure he had one right near there, and it was in the kind of condition that his properties are at, and it's on the MLS for $25,000, and that'll probably sell. So like maybe they could have sold it for like up to 30.
Which one was that?
Yeah. So you can look it up. Let's see. Give me 1 second. I'll tell you the address. Might even be leverage for him. You're looking at 3617 South Wigger Street.
And that's WWIGER.
WIGGER.
GGER. Okay, got it. Okay, so whoa. Okay, this one needs some work here. I see.
I can almost guarantee you that Ron's on Race Street is like this, plus the siding's bad on his.
You think it's like this one currently?
Yeah, this is how he rents out his properties.
Oh, geez. Okay.
That's what I was trying to allude to. Is like.
Okay, so it might not. Well, he said he did finish the bedrooms or the bathroom and the kitchens. or kitchen and bathroom on that one.
I mean, if he can, well, he said, did he send photos?
He said he can, but he can also get you in. That's why I was calling to see if you had availability this week, so we could do both of them. You could walk that one and the other one and see where we're at. I mean, obviously, it's better than nothing.
Yeah.
And if we can negotiate with him, he might be able to get more of his properties. You know what I'm saying? But like he said,
right.
okay, so the reason that he's doing this type of transaction is because he's on his 401k and his self-directed IRA. So he's trying to figure out the best tax advantage for him to get rid of the properties that are in that same scenario, so he don't have to eat so much taxes. I get it now, right? So we might be able to offer more on one and then him take way less on another one, right? Because it's part of that process.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, so that would help him out in the benefit of the long run on the tax situation.
And then you like sell them as a package deal,
right, or one or the other, right? And then just say, hey, well, even if you do give us this much for this property, we know that just because you gave us this much for this property doesn't mean that it's worth that much. We're just saying you're putting that much on there based on this other one because I want to, save on taxes on this other one.
Oh, that's cool.
And he's trying to work it around to where it works for both parties.
If he just has photos handy, I think that'd be helpful for us to just take a look first.
Okay.
But yeah, and just like I can work it in.
I can tell him right now that we're just super busy, and that's what I told him. I told him I was like, hey, I'll give him a guy, and if I can't walk it this week, then just go ahead and get me pictures, which is going to help us, right? At least we'll have something.
I mean, if he has to go out and get photos, like I could probably do it. But if they're occupied, is he gonna like?
One's occupied, and the other one's vacant. It needs fixed.
So you think he would walk it with me? Because like I said, he probably remembers.
I mean, I don't really care if he does or not. I told him I was working with you.
Oh, okay.
I was like, me and Jonah work together, so it doesn't matter.
Cool. Okay.
It's just up to you. If you don't have time, that's perfectly fine. We can go ahead and see if he could just jump on and grab us some photos, shoot those photos over to us. We can have a glance on what's going on at the property.
That would be really helpful.
Because I want to see the interior. If he says he redid the kitchens and he redid the bathrooms, I want to see what kind of condition he redid them in. I don't need somebody just going and squirting some bleach on some tile and scrubbing it and being like, look, that's clean. Right?
Yeah.
That's not what we're talking about here.
Right.
We're talking about tearing the tile up, tearing the bathroom walls out, putting new tile up, putting new showers in. Did you do all this stuff or not? Right? And that's what we need to look for. So I think he's looking around 80 for both properties at this time. I don't know, but like I said, we just have to see. He said there's only a few things that needed finished on the Branson property. So maybe it might be worth it. Maybe it might not. I don't know.
Yeah, Branson's not a great street, but if it's more fixed up, like sure,
I just think that a lot of people in this area, this third tier market, just really want a lot for their properties. And it's like, guys, you got to check the MLS before you go asking prices.
Yeah, I think that's right for sure. So
yeah. Okay. Well, I'll let him know. I'll let him know, and then what I'll do is I'll just have him send me some photos or whatever he can get for us, and then once we get them, we can make a justification on a good offer at that point. But I tried 37.5 on the property that's currently rented, which is pretty good. But he came back with 40.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, do you know Lisa Meredith with Clever Girl Real Estate Solutions?
I've heard of her.
Yeah. She sent out 2 this week. One was pretty solid, and the other one not so much. But I'm comparing maybe I'll forward you one because it's it's what she had, and I think she's a little bit off, but it's like.
I mean, if we have to make low offers on these houses, there is, if they're not going to accept them, that's perfectly fine, because if that's just the market that we're in, then they're just going to have to understand that. And if they don't want to sell for that, then they can keep the properties. If they're too high and we can't move them, there's no point in locking them up. Or if they're too high and we don't want them, there's no point in locking them up.
Right.
And that's where I'm coming from with a lot of these deals across the table, whether they're here, Nevada, Florida, Ohio, Texas, it doesn't even matter. If they don't want a good number for their property, they're not going to sell it to you. There's no reason for them to sell it to you.
Yeah. Did you guys, did you ever have any traction on that G Street property?
No, I ended up closing it out and sending up the cancellation contract because it just wasn't a good deal.
Yeah, bummer. Bummer. I saw you got it was on Facebook. And just curious.
Yeah, my dispo guy just kind of, I mean, he had a few people that was interested in it, but at that time I was kind of over the deal. At that time we talked numbers, and I was like, if we're going to sit here and fight these guys with numbers, there's no point.
Yeah, when I walked in, I was like, oh man, it was like sometimes you hope it's good surprises. It wasn't a good surprise. So, okay, well, yeah, if he gets his photos, that'd be great. I'd be happy to
Okay, I'll jump on the call with him again, see if he can get us the photos over. Once I have some photos to justify, I'll send you the links. That way you can look over everything and then let me know from there if it's something that we can work with or if it's something that you just want to pass on.
Yeah, that sounds great.
All right, man. I appreciate your time. I'll talk to you here in a little bit.
Yep, sounds great.
Later.
Thanks.
Hey, Ron. I talked to my partner, Jonah, and he said that he's going to be wrapped up this week. He's got some stuff that he's got to get done. But if you could please send me, I'll shoot you my email. Give me the photos for both properties at least, so that way I can see hands-on what we're working with here. And then if I need to physically walk them or anything like that, I can drive to Marion. It's not that big of a deal, but I'd have to take obviously time out and set a time. But yeah, I mean, if you're looking to do something, let's see what we can get, and let's see what kind of what market we're in. I'm noticing I don't know if you've noticed this or not, but there's a lot of houses on the market that are really low priced, and I don't know if it's the area or what the situation is. Is it just the way Marion is, or okay, okay, yeah, yeah. Okay. Yeah, and then obviously that goes a long way with the lending as well. So we got to make sure everything lines up. Yeah, so if you could give me those pictures, I'll shoot you over my email now. That way you have it. That's my work email. You can get a hold of me through there anytime. And then this is my phone number. You can call me anytime, either Ron if you need to. Uh, so I'll get that over to you. Okay, yeah, because we don't want to disturb the tenants if we don't have to. If you can go over there, that'd be a lot, probably better for them. I don't know how it works. Okay, okay, and how new are the ones on the Ray Street property right now? How old are those photos? Okay, okay. It'll show like the updates and stuff that you did and all that. Okay, okay. All right. Well, thanks, Rick. I'll get that email over to you, and I'll be looking forward to those pictures. All right, thank you, sir. Okay, now what we're going to do is we're going to go to our CRM. We're going to push my phone number, and we're going to say, "Hey, Ron, let's see if I have a template for it. Oh, company info, James, Sell to us Fast LLC, James at selltousfast.com. And we are going to send this off to Ron. There we go. Now he has my email. He's going to send us some pictures. We're going to be able to look through some pics and make some judgments. All right, now we're on to the next one. So now that we're waiting on pictures here, we're going to have to go to, let's see. Let's go to this East Street with Joshua White. Hey, we got a voicemail. So what we're going to do is we're going to do wait a couple seconds, and then we're going to call Joshua back, see what we can got going on here. We're looking at Fair Street, Detroit, Michigan. Josh? Hey, how you doing, man? Hey, this is James. We were supposed to get on a call on the appointment on the 22nd, and we kind of missed each other. So I didn't know if you had time now or. Okay. Is this something you're looking to seriously sell? Is this something that you're looking to move forward with? Okay. All right. Well, I'll tell you what, I'll set an appointment for 5 p.m. my time, and I'll give you a call within the 5 minutes. All right. Thanks, Josh. Always ask them, are you serious about selling? Because if you're not serious, I'm not trying to sit here and 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 waste time, right? We're trying to lock deals up. We want to find people who's actually selling houses. Okay, now we're going to go on to the next one. So I'm going to set an appointment for today. It's going to be at 5:00 p.m. That way I have this saved. Okay, did that one. Now we have a contact for today. We're moving along here, guys. We're going to keep moving along. Tibbs Street. I didn't know if Daniel stayed clear Tibbs or not. Didn't he sell it? Did he not sell it? We're going to check and see, though, for sure. Let's see here. Our last conversation, we had, let's see what we have. Daniel. It's called Daniel back, I guess. It's called Daniel. Okay. We're going to send him a follow-up message and say, hey, Daniel. Let's see. Send it from James. Not Eric. I can't type, guys. Hey, Daniel, James following up with the house on property street address. Is supposed to connect with you, and we didn't get a chance to. So we're going to go ahead and send that text message there. And now we're going to wait, and let's see if we hear back from him. Let's save that for an hour follow-up, which I already connected at the 24th. So now we got to wait to connect again. Now we need to get research needed. Okay, we're going to research. Let's see what we got going on. It's all about making contacts, making calls, making follow-ups, doing whatever we got to do to get a hold of these people. That's the main thing. So just make sure that we are always looking to Credit renewal. Okay, no problem. Okay, so it looks like Steve Smith is the owner. Let's double check, make sure he's the owner. Nope, looks like Janine. And looks like Janine is the owner. Okay, well, let's call Janine. Winthrop Street in Detroit. She said 50,000. See what we got here. We could possibly make 50 work. I'll run some numbers on this house here. Let's call her. Calling. Ah, Janine didn't answer the phone, so we're gonna have to give her one more call back. Janine. Which is okay. Now we're gonna send a follow-up text, and we're gonna state attempt 1. Okay, I need to talk to Steve. So let's call Steve back. Let's call Steve. Hey, Steve. Hey, how you doing, man? This is James Vance. Did you remember talking to me about the property on Winthrop? Hey, did you ever get around to talking to your girlfriend about what you guys are gonna do? Or oh, okay. Let me see. I must have missed it. Did you have a price range you guys was looking to stay around? Yeah, yeah, yeah. That's is there? Would you guys be willing to do any seller finance if we put something down? Okay, yeah, we do that sometimes. If obviously, if a seller's looking for more money than that we can pay cash out right now, then usually we try to create a deal if we could come up with some creative financing option to get that number that you're looking for. That would kind of help us out and help you out at the same time and help her get rid of the house. Yeah, why don't you talk it over with her, Steve, and see if she'd be willing or even open to doing that, and then shoot me a text back or give me a call back and let's talk. All right. Well, I appreciate your time, Steve. Just let me know either way. That way we can start working on something. Thanks, buddy. Okay. Well, Steve is open to seller finance. Will seller finance. He will be asking. He will be. Let's see. He still needs to talk to his girlfriend. Still asking $50,000. Okay. Okay, we're gonna keep moving along. Put him into negotiating at this point. So now we're moving along. If anybody has any questions or any comments or anything, let me know. I'll probably be jumping off here in a little bit, just kind of going over some of these leads right now to keep, making up for what we got and what we've already lost. So. How much did Mark pay for it? Let's see. Three bed, one bath. What's the average price? 3 bed, 1 bath in this neighborhood. Use exact location. Looks like we're doing 43, 40, 35, 10, 71, 29, 75, 38. Let's call Marco and see if he's willing to negotiate. It's currently rented, right? It's currently rented for $1,200 a month. Let's see. $12,500. Let's make an offer on this house. Let's see here. What are we selling for? Between 80 and 75. 75. Here's one. What's this look like? It's a 2-story. Updated too. Updated selling for 75. Yikes. Here's one for 60. It's regular. 35. Okay. Here's one for 27. It's pretty rough. Here's a livable one for 38. 29, 10, 40. Okay. So his has a tenant in it, and it's rented out for $1,250 a month. So if we're taking $1,250 a month and using the rent price that we're looking at, so $1,250 times 50 would be $62,500. Let's call him back and see if it takes $62,500. Offers being made. My own. Hey, Marco. Hey, can you hear me? Hey, this is James. I talked to you last week about your property on Stanford. We discussed. All right. If he don't call back, we'll just call him back. Simple. We're not gonna wait for him. We're gonna call somebody else. I'm gonna have to put this one in needs to make offer because I need to make the offer. Make offer for 62,000 cash as is. Okay, so if he don't call back in an hour, I'm gonna call him back. But we do got the deal in line ready to go. So now we're gonna go to Conley Street. We're gonna look for Miss Kenya. Let's see here. Where's this last conversation at? Here we go. Let's listen to this last conversation. He's up there. Is he going to be able to have access to it? Do you guys have like a lockbox, or you guys got somebody that can show it, or how does that work?
Yeah, we have somebody to show it. I have a family member that lives just a few doors down from there that's readily available. So yeah,
Okay.
we'll figure
I'll tell you what.
So-
I will get your information over to Cortez, my partner, and then when he is up there for all his family matters, I'll go ahead and have him contact you, and that way you guys can be in contact to where you can set him up to where he can drive over and actually walk the property himself. He's the one that actually manages all of our rehabs and. Okay, vacant. So what was she wanting? Let's see. Let's see. Let's see if we can come up with a number for her. So it's a 3-bed, 2-bath, 1,600 square foot. Let's see. 3-bed, 2-bath. Okay. 1,600, 46, 46, 65, 65, 65, 68, 70, 125. It's probably fully done up. I would imagine. Yeah. I'd say so. Let's see. Hmm, 40. I don't know about 40. Don't know about the 40. I would have to say around 40,000. It's like 80s a high, 40s, 30s is the low. I would estimate this about 40,000. Yeah, let's listen to that one more time. Let's call Miss Kenya. Got to run the numbers on it. Well, we'll be running some numbers on this, and I'll jump back on here maybe a little bit. Give it some time. Got a few offers in. Keep everybody pushing and going after these deals. Got to make the calls. Got to talk to people, make offers. I think we're going to offer probably $40,000 for that one in Detroit. All right, guys. Well, I hope you enjoyed just understanding what it's like to get on the phone with these people and learning how to talk to these people, ask the questions, run the numbers on the properties. Any kind of questions or concerns you guys have, you guys can throw them in the chat or leave a comment. Make sure you guys subscribe, like, and follow.